Hello everyone, in this video I will talk about glycolysis. Glyco means sugar. Lysis means breakdown. It is a universal pathway. All living organisms takes this glycolysis and gets energy through this pathway. And it is also called as EMP pathway. EMP pathway. This pathway was completely elucidated in 1940. And this was named after three scientists, Emden, Meyerhoff, Farnes pathway. This is a common pathway for both the aerobic and anaerobic respirations. Let us see what exactly happens in this glycolysis. So this is divided into three phases. First one is energy investment phase, where energy is utilized. And second one is energy splitting phase. Third one is energy generation phase. And these three phases consist of total 10 reactions. That is, glycolysis is of all about 10 reactions. And it starts with the glucose molecule. We will see those 10 reactions one by one. It starts with glucose. One molecule of glucose gets converted to two molecules of pyruvate with the generation of ATPs. So first step is catalyzed by an enzyme, hexokinase. Glucose is converted to glucose 6-phosphate. So this takes place with the help of an enzyme, hexokinase. And kinases are the enzymes that catalyze phosphorylation reactions. So here ATP is utilized. One phosphate group from the ATP is going to be transferred to glucose, and it becomes glucose 6-phosphate. So this is the first step of glycolysis. And next step is just isomerization reaction. Glucose 6-phosphate is isomerized to fructose 6-phosphate with the help of isomerase. It's a simple isomerization reaction. And next step is fructose 6-phosphate is converted to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. This reaction takes place with the help of phosphofructokinase. Again, it is a kinase reaction. Phosphorylation reaction takes place. Here also again ATP is utilized for this reaction. One phosphate group is going to be transferred to fructose 6-phosphate, that too first carbon of the fructose, so that it becomes a fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. So up to here these reactions comes under energy investment phase, where the energy is utilized. And next phase is energy splitting phase. Second phase of glycolysis is energy splitting phase. Here fructose 1,6-bisphosphate is split into two 3-carbon compounds. One is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and another one is dihydroxy acetone phosphate. So this takes place with the help of aldolase enzyme, and these two are interconvertible. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate can be converted to dihydroxyacetone phosphate, and dihydroxyacetone phosphate can be converted to glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. And next reaction is, if glycolysis is to proceed for further, this dihydroxyacetone phosphate is also converted to glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. That you should remember. That means in glycolysis, two molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate are participating. So dihydroxyacetone phosphate is also converted to glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So up to here, this is energy splitting phase. Now we will see energy generation phase. How the energy is generated during glycolysis and how much energy is generated during glycolysis. So now we have glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, two molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is converted to 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Here the enzyme is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. In this reaction, the coenzyme NAD is reduced to NADH. So here glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate gets converted to 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate with the help of dehydrogenase enzyme. This is what happens. So this NADH, whatever produced, enters the electron transport chain and undergoes oxidative phosphorylation and gives ATPase ultimately. And next reaction is 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is converted to 3-phosphoglycerate. So this is phosphoglycerate kinase enzyme. Phosphoglycerate kinase enzyme. Here ADP takes phosphate from the 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate so that it generates ATP in this reaction. So this is what happens during this reaction, during the conversion of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate to 3-phosphoglycerate. And next reaction is this 3-phosphoglycerate is converted to 2-phosphoglycerate. 3-phosphoglycerate to 2-phosphoglycerate. Just position of the phosphate group changes. So with the help of mutase enzyme. Then next reaction is 2-phosphoglycerate is converted to phosphoenol pyruvate. Phosphoenol pyruvate. So phosphoglycerate kinase becomes phosphoenol pyruvate. Here the enzyme is enolase. And final reaction of the glycolysis is phosphoenol pyruvate. It's a high energy compound, so that it becomes with the help of pyruvate kinase it becomes pyruvate. So it is converted to pyruvate. So again it is kinase catalyzed reaction, pyruvate kinase helps for this reaction. Here also the ATP generation we can see. So this pyruvate is the end product of the glycolysis. So with one molecule of glucose, two molecules of pyruvate are going to be formed at the end of the glycolysis. And coming to the generation of ATPs, if you see, one ATP and two ATPs. But here you should remember glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, two molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate are participating, so that we'll get 4 ATPs. But for the generation of, for the first phase of the glycolysis, 2 are already utilized. So we can write only 2 ATP generation here. And through NADH, as I told you, this enters the electron transport chain and undergoes oxidative phosphorylation and generates, each NADH can generate 3 ATPs. So that is, here 2 molecules, as 2 molecules are participating, 6 ATPs are going to be generated. So this is the net reaction of the glycolysis. We'll write the net reaction of the glycolysis. C6H12O6 plus how many ADPs? 2 ADPs. And how many NADs? 2 NAD plus 1 inorganic phosphate. So this gives how many pyruvates? 2 pyruvates. 2 pyruvates plus 2 ATPs, then 2 NADH plus H plus. So this is the net reaction of the glycolysis. In that way, glycolysis takes place. Glycolysis, it's a universal pathway. Almost all living organisms, living cells will take this glycolysis for the generation of pyruvate, for the generation of energy. And whatever the pyruvate that is going to be formed, further it is going to be oxidized under aerobic conditions through Krebs cycle. Under anaerobic conditions, it is going to form, this pyruvate is going to form lactate, that we will see in the next video. Thank you.